Hello, this is Caleb with Garvin Sewer Service. I'm at 3540 Broadway. I'm currently in Unit A. So what happened was that before our arrival yesterday, they had rotor-rooter out here. They snaked to 65 feet, said that they couldn't get past it. They had a break, had to give an estimate for a fix. Didn't note a couple of offsets before they got there, but then they called us out for a second opinion. I was able to snake it successfully with 3-inch blades so far. I have not ran with 4-inch blades. I ran twice with 3-inch blades up to 120 feet. Right now you're hearing water running. There is a unit that we do not have access to, and I guess they left the facility open. The water was shut off when I got here. I did have permission to turn the water back on once I got the block, to clear out the block so I can see what's going on and to help clean the line. So we are not responsible at Garvin's if there is something going on with that. If it's a sink that's running that we do not have, that maybe it's overflowing. If that's the case, I will talk to him and see if he wants me to shut the water off until that is alleviated. But that will not be any responsibility of Garvin's. So right here, we'll stick our camera head in and make sure we're zeroed out, which is the distance indicator on the lower left-hand side of the screen. So we will have water continuously running. So like right here, I don't know how much water would be setting in the pipe by itself without the water running. Maybe none, but I think a little bit. So maybe a little dip right there. The cast looks to be in really good condition, however, for the age, so that's good. So we turn pretty fast, and it's pretty much a straight shot out, going from east to west. I deemed that to be a little bit of toilet paper on the top right side. I've looked at it a couple times. I don't believe that the break, if it was something punctured in the cast, it would be brittle and splintered. So that's probably just toilet paper from the backup. The 4-inch blade will get that out. I will run one more time with 4-inch blades. Hopefully I'll get through the cast relatively easy. Because you'll see a little bit of, that's a little bit. I might be able to get a little bit more there. Alright, so I did locate this spot where the cast to clay transition is at 30 feet. This is outside underneath the rock. There'll be a picture of a rock that's kind of painted over. So that might be a good idea to put in risers for future services. That will make it cleaning more effective, cheaper, and cleaner for everybody involved. We'll have to pull this toilet again. So you're going to see periodic. This is like a minor offset right there, but it is one with a little bit of root intrusion that's cut out really good. Here's probably the most roots that are left behind. Again, I will attempt to get 4-inch blades through the cast out to where we are and run this one more time. So it's another offset right there. It's kind of marked with green paint. We do have a toilet flush coming. So right here, coming up at 65 feet, we have an offset that's not, we're going to let the water kind of do its thing for a second here. I'm going to pause the video right quick. Appears the water from the flush has been mostly evacuated. So right here we will go underwater. Again, the water running does not give us a quite accurate representation on how deep the water is when there is no water. But right here, we kind of have an offset where we're going down, and then we kind of pop back out. That is where our block was. It was a lot of roots. It was kind of difficult to get. I do recommend fixing that. However, if they do not get it fixed, snaking it may help you have, not have a backup. So I do recommend, even if that spot is fixed, to snake once a year for all the other clay sections. Otherwise, replace all the casts with the roots are taken out. We can also have a conversation about liners. It might be a candidate for it. And then at 84 feet right here, we're dropping into the city. My pictures of the directional flow are wrong on the city side, by the way. So, I would recommend outside risers. Put in the clay to cast to clay transition. Then we have a couple of minor offsets. It seems like the one that's at 65 feet That's the one that is the offsets. We have to go in water and then pop out, so things might be deposited there. The other little offsets might have roots that grow a little bit more aggressively because there is a little bit of separation. And so roots growing, I do recommend cleaning it once a year to keep the clay going for as long as it can. An outside riser would help with the efficiency of the cleaning, the price, as well as the cleanliness of the cleaning. You know, like not having to pull a toilet. Fixing the offset would help. If none of that happens, then we will run from the pull toilet in the future. If there's any other questions, refer to the invoice summary. There will be a text out version of this job and what I did, what I discovered. Any other questions, feel free to give Garvin Sewer Service a call. My name is Caleb. Thank you for your time.